love for. Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Welcome, sunshine, to Affirmation Station. My name is Charente of JCLV 21, where I joyously coach life victory, and I get the opportunity to be the conductor on this here train where we learn how to maintain your mind, your body, and your spirit before going to your next destination. This stop has transferred line to the best day and week ever on platform 2 or the worst day ever on platform 3. You get to choose wisely after completing these exercises with me. Like every show, I'm going to walk you through 3 exercises that can either kickstart your day or invigorate your day so that your body is feeling right, your soul is feeling good, and your mind is at peace. This show is Monday through Friday at Divine Timing and live recorded on the Wisdom app and on TikTok. This episode will be focusing on mindset as it is Monday. So without further ado, let's move some energy that has been stagnant, and let me give you the cues to watch out for that we just listened to let us know when an exercise starts and when it ends. So if you hear this ding dong, that means the exercise is just getting going. And if you should hear ding dong ding, that means the exercise has completed. Now that we know that sounds that abound on this ground, let's begin that first exercise. This exercise is called Say It and Claim It. This exercise is all about words of affirmation. Affirmations to me are declaration statements of what we actually want. So be mindful what things that you are affirming. And one thing that I said that I learned this past week was saying the word release compared to saying the word dissolves feels different. So moving forward for me, I'm going to say the word dissolves because that actually feels like I am releasing it. Like I don't feel none of it no more as I truly let it go. So now I've said all of that. Let me let you know what the instructions are for you for this exercise. Repeat after me in that beautiful mind and that imagination of yours, or say it out loud, that beautiful voice, for better effect so you can actually hear yourself speaking yourself up. That's just an added benefit. And if you want that maximum benefit, say this in a front camera or say this to your reflection or a mirror. Now that we know all of the ways that we can do this, let's go ahead and repeat after me. I love that I love what I love. I leave room in my life for spontaneity. I invite art and music into my life now. I alone hold the truth of who I am. I can hold 2 opposing feelings at once. It means I am processing. I can control how I respond to things that are confronting. I am more than what my circumstances dictate. I am content and free from pain. I breathe in trust and exhale doubt. I embrace change seamlessly and rise to the new opportunity it presents. I grow towards my interest like a plant reaching for the sun. I have come further than I would have ever thought possible, and I'm learning along the way. Every day and in every way, I get better and better. You can stop repeating after me. Ding dong ding, you completed it. You just spoke love into yourself, and I'm so proud of you for loving you. Yes, I am. as if you get to be yourself and you get to love yourself, that means that when I send that love to you, you're going to feel it in its fullness. Yes, you are. And I'm so happy you made it this far. So let's go ahead and go to the next exercise. This one has a little bit of whoosh and a whoosh and a whoosh, which just simply means that we're at the exercise called the breeze of breathing, where we take the time to focus on our life force, also known as our breath. The reason why we consciously breathe is because it energizes our body, it focuses our mind, and it really invigorates us to be that light to others, because we're the light to ourselves first by going into the quiet for a moment. Here are the instructions. I have a couple of sets, so listen out, and I hope I get your current circumstance. I might not get the entire thing. I'm going to try though. If you're laying down, this one is for you. Go ahead and feel the support beneath you. Relax those shoulders and close those eyes. If you're sitting down and you are not driving, go ahead and move your butt a little bit. Sit up straight. Put your feet on the ground. Relax your shoulders and close your eyes. So if you are actually driving right now, thank you for the compliment. I see it and I greatly appreciate it. Sending love your way. If you're sitting down and you're driving, because I don't know how you'll drive standing up, but that's just me. Go ahead and get comfortable in that seat. Move your butt a little bit. Wake it up just a little bit. Relax your shoulders the best way that you can. Okay? Pay attention to your driving. And then just listen to how we're doing the breathing technique and follow along that way. Stay safe. And the last way that you might be is standing up like I am right now and you're not driving, okay? If you would like to stand up straight, relax those shoulders. If you're going to close your eyes, please lean against a wall for your safety, as you might feel lightheaded. And if you do, I'd rather you stay safe and just slide yourself down into a seated position. Okay, now that I've said all these different ways that you can do this exercise to its optimal capability, let me let you know which technique we're doing. We're doing the 5-5-5 technique, which just simply means we're inhaling for 5, we're holding for 5, and we're exhaling for 5. You get to choose if you're going to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth and do the cycle method of cycling out the oxygen, or you're going to do more of the deep breathing and breathe in through the nose and then out through the nose. That is completely up to you. Now, without further ado, pick what you're going to do. I would do the inhaling through the nose personally and exhaling through the nose. I'm just going to let you know what I'm going to do in my life. And without further ado, let's go. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, following along with that breath, and go back to your not conscious breathing, your natural breathing. Ding dong ding, exercise completed. You did it again. You relaxed that body, my friend. Thank you so much for going into the silence and going into your breath and your life force with me to invigorate it just a little bit. I'm so very, very proud of you. Now let's head over to our third exercise. This exercise is called Tap It In, also known as the Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT Tapping. This is an alternative therapy for PTSD, chronic pain, as well as weight loss, fibromyalgia, and other conditions. Research it. See if it's really for you and what you're feeling like right now. How I view this technique, it's doing 2 of the 5 love languages that we learned from Gary Chapman. 2 of the 5, which is physical touch, and pairing that with words of affirmation. And it, to me, it is an act of service. It's not technically a surprise or a gift, but it is, to me, a gift for the body. And the last one is, here, I'm forgetting the last one right now. This happens, y'all. It is what it is. If I remember, I'll say it. That will happen. So I'm moving on to the move on. We are going to be doing 4 taps. We have escalated, y'all. We are at 4 taps today to lock this stuff in. And when I say lock it, I'm talking lock those affirmations that we just said from Say It and Claim It. The taps that we are going to do are, we're starting with the karate chop, which is tapping on the side of the hand. So just so you know where that is, take whatever hand you want to, put it flat with your palm up. Take your other hand and karate chop it down like you're going to karate chop a cinder block open. Just strike down. Please be gentle with yourself doing this, but that stimulates the point. The reason why we do this, it's to help us dissolve the feeling of stuckness. And it helps us to allow ease into moving forward, as well as truly letting go, healing from grief, and being happy in this present moment, which is a gift. The next point we're doing is going to tap on the eyebrows. And this will be, so where you see where your nose is, go straight up, and that inner eyebrow, that's where I want you to tap on. Not the outer, the inner. Yeah. And we're going to do that with our middle and our index finger together on both sides, alternating that tap. The reason why we do this, it dissolves trauma, hurt, and sadness, which allows peace and emotional healing. That's the reason why we do it. The next tap we're doing, we're going to tap on the sides of the eye. Literally just on the sides of the eye. Like where the middle of the eye is, to the side of that, tap on that bone right there. When we do that, it dissolves resentment and anger, which allows clarity and compassion. And we're going to lock this all in by tapping on the top point of the head with your middle and your index finger. The reason why we do this is, 1, to lock in all of that goodness that we just did. In addition to, it promotes our spiritual connection with the higher power or source. That's the reason why we do that. It's to help us truly lock it in, what we're saying and the declarations that we're saying that we want forth, okay? Now I've said all this fun stuff. Now let me give you the instructions. Because I was just giving you where we're tapping. I was giving you why we're tapping. Now I have to give you what are the instructions to tapping. You have to accept where you are right now. Whatever feeling that you're feeling, if you're grieving, if you're angry, you're happy, you're sad, whatever you're feeling like right now, feel it. Melancholy, like you don't know what to feel. Melancholy, feel it. It's okay. Whatever the feeling is, it is okay. It is simply a part of your alert system, baby, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And by us accepting what we're feeling right now, it gives us the awareness to allow us to change it and to help really focus it into something that we want instead. Because we have accepted it, doesn't mean we have to keep it. We can accept but not keep. When I say not keep, we can transmute it into something else, baby. So you can feel just a little bit lighter or some neutrality in your life, depending on where you're coming up the emotional scale. Okay. Now that I've said that and you know that your feelings are okay, I explained all the tappings, I said where we're getting these affirmations from, let me start by saying this. We're starting with tapping on that karate chop point with the hi-ya, okay? And I will let you know when to switch. Now without further ado, tapping on the side of your hand, repeat after me. I love that I love what I love. I leave room in my life for spontaneity. I invite art and music into my life now. Stop repeating after me. And now I want you to switch to tapping on your eyebrows. Now repeat after me again. I alone hold the truth of who I am. I can hold 2 opposing feelings at once. It means I am processing. I can control how I respond to things that are confronting. Go ahead and release the tapping on the eyebrows, release it repeating after me. And now we're going to switch to tapping on the sides of your eyes. Okay? Now I want you to go ahead and repeat after me again. I am more than what my circumstances indicate. I'll repeat that one more time. I am more than what my circumstances indicate. I am content and free from pain. I breathe in trust. I exhale doubt. Stop repeating after me and stop tapping on the sides of your eye. I would like you now to switch to tapping on the top of the head. Let's lock this in, y'all. For me, I have to find a part to lock this in because I'm just tapping on my crochet braid. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Okay. Now I'm done being silly. Without further ado, go ahead and continue tapping on the top of that head and repeat after me. I embrace change seamlessly and rise to the new opportunity it presents. I grow towards my interests like a plant reaching for the sun. I have come further than I would have ever thought possible, and I'm learning along the way, which is okay. Every day and in every way, I get better and better. Repeating after me, release that tap. And I just want to thank you for that. Ding dong ding, you are on fire today. I am so excited for you to have taken that time to support your healing and life journey today by pouring that love into you so that you can pour love into others from a full cup. Thank you so much for doing that with me, and I just want to celebrate you like you should be celebrating you. I'm calling you out now. You should be celebrating you at every tiny little step. Like, I got dressed today, y'all. That's a celebration right there, okay? I woke up today. That's a celebration right there. I took a shower. That's a celebration right there. I brushed my teeth. That is a celebration right there. I have breakfast. That is a celebration right there. Doesn't mean you have to celebrate YOLO big with alcohol or anything like that. But you can clap for yourself and say, you did it. And support yourself and cheer yourself on. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not selfish. It's just something that will help you through your day. So without further ado, we're going to celebrate because you are great with the celebration song. Celebrate. Hey. It's a celebration, y'all. Celebrate with me today. Oh, yeah. It's a celebration. Woo! I am so proud of you guys for how awesome you are just being yourself, which is more than enough. Because if you weren't being you, then who are you being? Because we have enough of whoever they are. So just be you, and I'm fine with that. Because you are amazing in and of itself. You are a beautiful soul in and of itself. Learning more about yourself, which just is the coolest thing ever. So with all that now being said, if you're listening and you want to share your favorite affirmation, how you're feeling completing out the exercise with me, or you just want to talk, the timer is set for 2 minutes and your time to shine is now. I think I'm going to play one of my new songs. So we're going to bring someone up. And her name is Nice.
Charente, I'm telling you, when you do this, I sit here and I'm laughing, I'm giggling, I'm doing the exercises, feeling good. And your silliness is so refreshing. I'm so sorry. But I can sit here and I laugh because I know you, because you know, Mom, you're my daughter. So I know you very well, and I know how serious you once were about everything, and all of this lightness, lightheartedness, and the joking and the singing. You never did this before. So every time I hear you, I just get tickled on the inside, and I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you for taking the time to say that, and I will say it feels good to be back to me, Mom. It really does.
I'm so grateful for this. So I'm gonna say my favorite affirmation was, every day in every way I get better and better.
That's because it's your affirmation. Y'all, I'm going to let you guys... I'm pausing you. People, just so you know, she's completely enthralled in the show, even though she's not here all the time. Like I said, if y'all hear this, that's her contribution of her actually saying that sound. Okay? In addition to her coming up and being the awesome rockstar mom that she is. And her giving those little tributes. So if you have like an affirmation that's a really good affirmation that I like too, I'll put it in the show and I'll keep it as a stagnant thing. Because there's some affirmations that you just got to repeat every day to really hone it into your subconscious, so that it's just a natural thing.
Well, thank you, Charente, for letting me up on your stage and let me affirm you. I appreciate you, and I really do admire your growth. That is no kid. That's not just because I'm your mother, okay? That's
thank
real.
you, Mom, and thank you for being you. Ta-ta. If anyone else wants to come up, you are more than welcome. We're going to continue listening to the hold music. Oh, wait. I guess that one's done. Let's go to the next one. If y'all are into Disney, then you might know what these songs are. And this one comes from one of my favorite Disney films, which is Princess and the Frog. This one was a mini instrumental of Almost There. The previous one was Dig a Little Deeper. And the ones that we normally do is Be My Guest and... what's another one that I do? Be My Guest, and then I generally do Pink Panther, which is like the only non-Disney film. Disney is in me, guys. It just is what it is. So if no one else is going to come up, that is Tay with me, my friends. Let's go ahead and keep it moving on. And if you know where this song is from, you had some good laughs back in the day, y'all. Bah, bah. This is from the Jeffersons. If you didn't know, I'm going to let you know it's from the Jeffersons. I think it's on Prime. If you want to take a look at that, it's a really funny show. Okay, and I love their theme song. It's just I love the jazz, man. It's just, it gets me going, it gets me flowing, and makes me happier. Now is the time that I let you know what you will see if you take the time to look at my link tree. Because you're like, she probably has stuff to offer. I do things for free. I think, yeah, majority of my stuff is free $99. I don't charge you anything for it because I don't need to charge you for these things. It's just stuff I want to give you that are really, really good, and that would be very expensive if I did price them. Okay, now I said that. One is a life check-in form. See where you're at in life. Like I told you earlier, by us accepting where we are, it also means that we have an awareness. By you taking the time to do this life check-in form, you're getting an awareness so that you can make the change that you want to make and not just live life where life happens to you, but where you are living your life and life is happening really for you, because now you understand where you really are at in life. I go over your mind, I go over your health, I go over your career, and I go over your finance, all on my website. And just take the time. If you want to work with me, cool. If you don't, cool. I just want you to have something for you to know where you're at. Okay, that's the main purpose of the forum. The next thing you're going to see is a replay of all affirmation stations. That includes all the TikTok lives I take and put on my YouTube for the people to view there as the video replay, or you can listen back to all the Affirmation Station audios only. That is completely up to you. The next thing that you're going to see is a link to the Lighten Up Your Life community. And here's where I share all the helpful resources that all the videos that I've been doing for wellness tips, I will be letting you guys know, like, I'm using an AI service, what I use. Like, I let you know about each and every area of your health, your career, and your finances in there. When I have a brief moment, I just shoot it in there and we have a conversation. And it's to help people go from that darkness and feeling stuck and feeling overwhelmed to them where they are financially literate. They're living life, and life is living them in the best ways possible, where you have peace, you have joy, you have all the fruits of the spirit, like kindness and compassion. Like, all of them are going to be in that location. I help you go from dark to light. That's the whole point of the community. The next thing you're going to see is all different ways to connect with me. We're talking Pinterest, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Woo! What else do I have on there? My email is on there too. My website's on there. And my Wisdom app is on there. I think also my Clubhouse. Like, when I say connect with me, connect with me. See where I go. See how I hang. Because wherever I go and wherever I flow, I know I'm bringing light. It's just something that I know because I cultivate it every single day when I wake up. Is I will be the light wherever it is. So if you need that upliftment, you can always go where I go and you can connect with me. We're going to quickly bring in, I think it's Ian. I'm praying I said his name right. Or her, whatever pronoun they are.
Oh, hello. Yeah,
hello.
My name's Ian.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate the opportunity to have a good conversation. Were you talking about mindset on, how to approach a Monday?
Oh, yes, I was. We generally go over 3 exercises to help us really cultivate the best day, which is words of affirmation, doing some breath work, and then going into emotional freedom technique tapping, so EFT tapping.
Okay.
And then
that's great.
So that's here. That's how I go. That's how we do the Monday mindset shifts.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. Have you been able to use that in your own life to have success?
Yeah, so that's how I went from 286 pounds to 164.
Wow,
as well
that's
as
incredible. Great
dude,
job.
it's a lot. I healed from so much additional trauma. We're talking sexual trauma. We're talking grieving of multiple family members. We're talking, dude, it's a list of how many things I've healed from.
That's great.
So I got you. These things do work if you take the time to do them, and it doesn't have to be every day. That's the coolest part. It doesn't have to be every day. Just do it when you feel like it.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I'm just, curious, is there even a way we could extend the time a little bit? Because I had another question I wanted to ask.
Oh, you can come back up. I do it 2 minutes for low entry for anyone that doesn't want to be on for 10 minutes.
No, it's honestly totally okay. I just, I think you're a great source for some of this, mindset and how to approach things. And I recently got hired as the Crane Lutheran boys and girls water polo coach. It's a high school out in Irvine, California. And I was curious, what do you have as far as advice for maybe an athlete on how to approach a practice or a game?
Yeah, so I will say, for me personally speaking, I was in track and field, also in marching band when I was younger, and I completely get that. I will say this, is that before the game even starts, it will be to visualize the moves that they would make and to see them already doing it.
Imagine they're in the game and really, visualize as if they were playing a game, even if it's like a practice day.
Yes. So let's say they have their practice day. At the end of the practice, they'll remember all the things that they messed up, most likely. Okay? I would want them to go back into that memory and be quiet for a moment, just go back in their mind. And I would want them to be successful in whatever it is. So whatever they think that they should have done to have made the goal or whatever, to get the score, they would do that in that visualization. The next time they do it, they're most likely going to be able to recall that memory because they reworked it as not a failure, but a success.
But as a success, okay. I think that's a really, really, really great, bit of insight. I've always tried to teach my players as far as each and every play or thing like that, reset your mind. Don't let the previous plays affect it and just go into the next one with the same confidence that when you started, regardless of how the game or the practice is going, just reset after each shot or goal or whatever it be.
Oh yeah, because you have to. I know for me, I like axe throwing, and I have to reset my mind every time I throw one. Because sometimes I land it, sometimes it's like, Charente, what's going on? And I'm like, well, it happens because you sometimes like things just don't go the way you thought they were going to go. And you're like, well, next time I can do more power. If I do more power in that good angle that I know how it feels like, I'm going to do it. And then I will say, after they visualize it, I would like for them to, here, this will be me, practice whatever that move would be. And say, hey, dude, I need you to do this. And then they practice it. And then they see that they really didn't know how to complete it. Just in that moment, they had a moment. And there's nothing wrong with having a moment.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I do have one more question. Actually.
Yeah, come back. Okay, so there we go. I hit the button, guys. I hit the button. And 2 into the 1. He's back for more fun.
All right. Yeah, great. No, I appreciate you accepting me a few times. I feel like this is a really good conversation. So, keeping it going sounds good. I'm curious, separate even from athletes, but maybe after an athlete finishes their career, do you have any advice? Because a lot of times when an athlete is playing, the thing that identifies them as who they are a lot of times is their sport, and then when they're retiring, which no matter how good you are, even Tom Brady at some point is going to retire, and it's kind of like, after, what is going to be your identity and what's going to be your motivation? Do you have any advice to like help that bridge or that gap?
Yeah, so for me, I've experienced stuff like this myself too. And that was before I went back into going to my W-2 job. And it looked a lot different this next time around that I went through. Because I was like, I'm putting off this hat of, hey, I just did all these things and it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. I had to forgive myself first. Because the thing is that the person most likely is going to feel like they're a failure for the fact that they have to stop. Because sometimes there are body limitations. And there's nothing wrong with that. Or they were super badly injured. And it will be very risky if they decide to play again. Kind of thing, depending on how they had to retire, or if it was a conscious retire or they were pressured. Like, there's so many additional factors. So first, forgiving, and I will say doing the Ho'oponopono prayer. So that's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, until their mind's at peace again. And then for them to take the time to be quiet with themselves and find what else they're passionate about. Because there's a lot of other things to do in this world. And for me, what I found is I am passionate about painting. I am passionate about making music. I am passionate about talking and telling people my story. I am passionate about writing. And I do those things, and that makes me super, super, super happy. Ian, you can come back. And so I'll tell them, do that. I will also say, visualize what your next step would look like what is it? Because mind you, they can always go into a coaching role if they're healthy enough to. What does that look like? Are they going to open up another business with the wealth that they have acquired in regards to having a community center? Like, what does that look like? And asking them, how can you use what you just learned and how can you inject this back into the community? Because you have a lot of lessons within you of being able to always get back up and to never give up, which is tenacity, of you taking the time to be disciplined. That is a skill that you can teach others. How were you productive? How did you make sure that you were going with your regimen and not against your regimen? And when you did go against your regimen, what did you do to recap from that? There's other things that they spin it into, and letting them know that you have more than one career because you have transferable skills.
Yeah, no, I think that's very, very, very well said. And, like all of these different things, a lot of times I encourage them to find those other passions even while they're still playing, so they can kind of lock on to those before they, ultimately retire. And I'm just curious, you're recording a podcast. What show is this for?
So this is my Affirmation Station Show.
Okay, that's great. And you're on episode 44?
Yes, I am. We've been here, we're chugging along.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Honestly, a lot of times people with podcasts, they'll get to like episode 10 or 15, and then they finish the podcast honeymoon phase, as I like to call it, where they've been doing it for fun, and then it gets to a point like, wait, why are we doing this? And, you know, you blew past that, so I think it's absolutely incredible what you've been able to accomplish.
I thank you so much for even telling me that and affirming me, because I didn't want to give up. But what I did instead was I developed a system for myself to make it 20 times easier to get this done every day.
Okay, that's great. And honestly, do you mind if I tap in one more time?
Yeah,
okay,
come back.
Cool.
Come back. You know, like I said, if it's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes. But if you want to come back because we're having a conversation, I don't mind however long that conversation does take. That's perfectly okay with me. So we're bringing him back this time. Hello again.
Hey, yeah, great. You know, and just my own curiosity, because I do produce, you know, podcast shows. I have like 7 different shows I'm working on right now. But my own show, you know, I have like 84, 85 episodes released. So I'm curious, what is a bit of advice you would give to a newer podcaster to help break through? Like you said, you know, there was a point where you were unsure about continuing. But honestly, what was it that gave you that strength to continue on and honestly become the success you are right now?
I would say, one, it was receiving the few, not many, but a few comments to say how much healing that people was taking place from them just listening to one of my shows.
To hear it, okay.
That was
That's
one.
Great.
2 was I created systems to make my life easier, because I do this Monday through Friday, every single day, just at divine timing. So that was my first thing, was release the time, because I feel too much pressure by always having to make sure I show up at 8:30 a.m. and I might have a meeting in the morning or something change, and then it might, no, divine timing. Whenever it's truly inspired out of me is when I come up. The next thing would be for me is that I'm a beast when it comes to computers. I'm just going to throw this out there now, and I'm recognizing it now. So I built a Google form. The Google form has everything that I need, and I know the variables that's the only thing that changes is my wait music for the guest. I know that my what taps we're doing are going to change, and I also know that we're going to have affirmations. Okay, so because I know these are the different areas, those are the fields that I have to fill in every single time on my Google form. From my Google form, I have an add-on where it'll automatically create a Google document of my template already nice and pretty. So all I have to do is do a double check, confirm, and plug and play in certain areas to finish out my process. And then for me right now, like as I'm talking, and I'm gonna bring up him one more time, is that I'm on my iPad. I'm also on my iPhone for my TikTok, and then I have my Android for my soundboard. Okay, so I know what those things are, and I built this one piece by one piece by one piece to give the engagement, because I know sound effects get me going and make me happier. So I added it for my effect, because I was like, ooh, sound effects, I like sound effects. So I did that, and like I said, right now on my iPad, I have a split view of my Wisdom app open as well as my Google Doc open right now, so that I'm able to manage the podcast, because I know for me, I have a normal script that I always go through. So I would say figure out where your consistency is, build your system, look for the affirming comments and only focus on those ones, and plan it out just a little bit. Because I know for me, I have themes to every day now instead of making a new thing every day, which is Monday is mindset, Tuesday is love my divine Tuesday, Wednesday is career Wednesday, Thursday is no thirst Thursday, and Friday is Fri-Yay Fuel. And I know that each of those days is a theme, so that makes it easier and alleviates a lot of pressure, because I put a lot of pressure on myself. I know that personally.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 things I want to highlight that I think, you know, are absolutely great. You know, first off, it's really impressive that you're not only an impressive, like, communicator, orator, those kinds of things, but that you're also good at computers. I mean, realistically, a lot of times it's a separate kind of person that does each of those things. Like, I might be the host of the podcast, but my business partner, he edits it, and he's kind of the brain behind it. So it's really interesting and impressive that you're able to do both. And then the second thing, I just, you know, want to commend you for continuing to push through and get to this point where now you have this routine, this schedule. And even more important, I really think it's good to understand that maybe outlining your episodes or planning beforehand is so important, so that when it's time to actually record, you know what you're talking about and you're able to stay on topic. As far as now, people are going to be able to be like, okay, he talked about that, and you're not going to be bringing up old conversations and things like that. And I think you hit it on the nail on the head of the hammer on the head of the nail, as they say. And
I got you. And I'll give you one more thing, and then if you want to come up again, that's fine.
Yeah,
but I'll
great,
give you one more thing.
Yeah.
So one thing that my mom asked for me, okay, guys, is that she's like, Charente, I'm learning so much, but you know what would be nice if I knew that person's name, I knew the name of their talk, and I had a place to write notes. So I created a wisdom notes form that literally says their name, what date it was, and stuff like that, for you to be able to easily find it. And I know for the wisdom app, if you like something or react to it, it makes it easier for you to look back at it. Or I sometimes send it to myself as an email. Really, it all depends to make sure I can save it to go back to it at a later time period. But I built that as well. And that was before I did this. And I will say, I wanted to do another podcast with my husband. And what we did was actually plan out the first 100 episodes. And that was us doing 3 major topics, but we had subtopics to those major topics, kind of thing, because we were going to cover the Me Too movement. We were going to cover the Black Lives movement. Like, we were going to cover some pretty heavy hitting things, kind of thing. But we decided that at that time, I wasn't ready to talk about all that stuff yet. So I had to stop. And
it's really kind of like putting yourself out there.
Yes, it really is. And it's a lot of energy for some topics that vibrate really low.
Just and a lot of times with that kind of thing, it can either be accepted like really, really well, or maybe not as well. And I commend your, smartness to say maybe not quite yet. And I think it's one of those things like, a little bit more time passes, it cools off a little bit, and then you can bring it up, and it won't press anyone's buttons or things like that.
Or additionally trigger them. And I will say this is that for social media, so I also do all my social media too. I do all of it.
Okay.
So
that's great.
I use Canva, and I figured out that I have certain images for certain days. And I just switch out the image. I was like, if it's mind, it's going to be someone with their mind or their mindset. If it's Thursday, it's going to be something with water. If it's going to be career, it's going to be something like someone going up the ladder, or a briefcase, or some graphics like that. And I also just hired a social media person so that they can create the graphics as well. So I don't have to think about that. And I can just do my producing of the show and be able to go in the other places and spaces that I want to go into. Because I know my process. And from my Instagram, it automatically goes to all of my stuff. So it goes to my Facebook, it goes to my Facebook group, it goes to my LinkedIn, it goes to wherever it needs to go to. My TikToks go to YouTube, like, and vice versa. As well as my Instagram Reels. Like, I have systems.
That's incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome. Those systems, just so you know, because I love giving, the one that I use for my videos, to move my videos, is called repurpose.io. Repurpose.io. So repurpose.io. That's the one I use for videos. That one is where I take from TikTok and I can move it instantly to Instagram Reels, and it won't have the watermark. From TikTok to my YouTube for my YouTube Shorts, or from my YouTube to my TikTok. I have those things flowing and going. Mind you, for TikTok, you can post videos up to 10 minutes. On your YouTube, that will transfer over. If they're longer than 10 minutes, YouTube will not transfer that over. Then for my other tool that I use, it's called DLV.it, which is DLVRT.it. Okay, I use that one. That one is for me to post onto my Instagram. It can go to my Pinterest on certain boards, because I use certain key phrases to say, look at these ones. Or I have it go from my Instagram to my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my Facebook page, my Facebook group as well.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, sorry, there was one other question I had. I've been doing, my podcast, like TikTok for the past 2 or 3 months now. Like, we have like 200,000 views plus, so it's going really well.
Yay.
I'm just curious, do you have any like tips for TikTok on how to get more views or more engagement?
I will say, don't worry about that right now. Let me explain why.
All right.
I posted something over a year ago. Dude, that thing is viral. I call it viral because it's the only video without getting paid on any type of pay to go over 24,000 views. And it was me teaching people how to add a secondary Instagram account to their Instagram app.
That's incredible.
But so don't worry about the views or numbers or trending sounds, because one, a trending sound can be copyrighted and taken down. And if they take it down, it removes all of your audio. So all that good work goes to where?
Nothing.
So make sure that you have it saved somewhere. So I know for me, I use ifttt.com, which automatically moves my tweets into a spreadsheet. Okay. So I can look at it later if I need to say, oh, I want to use that affirmation again.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
You. Wow.
So
you're really like into all of that. That's incredible.
Dude, for me, because I want to be a do everything, I kind of have to be right now, and then I can teach it to others to say you can do all the things you want to do, kind of thing.
I got you.
So any other questions? I don't mind answering any other questions you have really fast.
No, I mean, honestly, this has been a great talk. You know, my podcast is The Boys Are Us. I interview, people in the top 50 of their career fields. If you check out my profile, the link right there has all of our info. But thank you again.
Thank you so much. And I just followed you so I could take a look at that. Alrighty. We're going to bring up the next guest. And I might just start adding this sound effect when they come up. Yeah. I like that.
I'm just going to say amazing. Oh, my Jesus. Now I see why you couldn't manage my pages no more.
Yeah. It wasn't because I didn't love you. It's because I needed to figure out systems.
I understand, but I didn't realize. I mean, look, I always called you computer whiz since you was a baby and learning how to read and type on the computer at 9 months old, okay? But I did not realize the wealth of information that you have garnered in these, almost 28 years of life. I'm like, girlfriend, this girl is bad.
You realize the last parts I've been saying, this is all came from the past year.
It doesn't even matter how long it's been. The thing is that you've built a foundation and you continue to build upon that foundation. And now you've surpassed that. And it's like, I'm sorry. People are like, that's your mom and she got to say that. No, hell I don't. And if my daughter wrong, she wrong. But if she's doing something good, I'm going to come up here and say, damn, you badass, Tay Tae, okay?
Thank you, Mom.
Girl, I'm serious. I'm listening to you and I'm like, who is talking? Who is this?
Charente Carr.
I recognize. I know the pixel, the avatar. Okay, but all the stuff beside the avatars, a lot of this stuff is new to me. So I just want to say, hey, bravo, keep on doing your thing, girlfriend. Shit, I'm just I'm just like you just fueled me all up. So yes, beautiful advice for the raising of the vibration for the athletes, and beautiful advice for the shifting careers. And I gotta come back up one more time because I gotta finish this.
Yeah, come back up. There we go. Adding her in. Thank you, TikTok, for being with me right now, or YouTube, because you'll be seeing us on the replays.
Yes. So it's a wonderful thing to hear how much you have grown so much in at least the past year. But I'm talking about since you were brought here almost 28 years ago. And your birthday is on when?
Saturday,
number 28. So in 28 years, you have grown so much. And I can say this because I'm your mom. If I was like you are at 28, shit, I don't know where I'd be right now.
That actually be a good question. You might be Oprah.
Okay, girl, I don't know where I'd be, but see, guess what? You are where you are right now at 28. So I'm just gonna pray to God that I'm here long enough to see how far you take this shit, girl, because you a badass. Okay, I'm like, dang, mean, girl, but I love you, and keep on doing what you're doing, because the advice you're giving is very spirit-led, and it's right on task and on target, and it's not based on popularity. It's not based on stuff. It's based on people just being who they are and enjoying the moment. And this show you got going, I'm really loving it. I'm glad I started tuning in on a regular basis, even if I don't say nothing on your stage. But today I'm like, whoa, dude. Okay, so I had to come up here and give you your props. Okay?
Thank you for the kudos. Thank you for the love, and thank you for being my mom, because guys, I don't think I would be as far if I didn't have the mom that I have. So if I am here at 28, just imagine what she went through to be where she is at 60. What? 16, you mean?
Yeah, 61. So yes, so just keep up the good work, and oh my Jesus, just keep up the good work. All I can say is I'm very proud of you. Okay,
I love you too, Mom, and I thank you for your kudos. I thank you for your affirmations. I greatly appreciate it. So right now, I'm getting a lot of love from Cecilia and from Lois. So Cecilia, I want to talk to you guys about her, because I do know she hosts a podcast on the daily, baby, and it's called Celebrate and Have Kudos with Cecilia. It's a very fun show. I believe it's around 7 p.m. Eastern time, but I could be wrong on the timing of it. Just follow her. So that means click on the persons, go to Cecilia wherever she is with her emoji, and follow her to celebrate you and celebrate this moment, because you are great in all moments, for the fact that you exist on this plane where we get to unlearn to relearn in just a beautiful way. Might not feel beautiful, but it is a beautiful way. Okay, now that we said all that, if anyone else wants to come up, you are more than free to come up. And if not, we're going to get on with the moving on. And I'm going to play my song one more again from the Jeffersons, yo. Okay. Which is... Oh, wait. I have to find it. Haha. Keep it moving on. Moving on. Ba-da. Ba-da. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. Ba-da. For me, I can just help but shake to this song, y'all. Just go side to side, but just shake it, okay? I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everyone, so many of you guys today. I might not say all your names, but please know that when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you, specifically to you, to your spirit. Because if you're with me in this moment, that most likely means there's something that I'm going to say that's going to resonate with you, unless you wouldn't have appeared and stayed on. Okay, so thank you so much for letting me sing my songs, be silly with you guys, and for coming to Mindset Monday. So without further ado, it is time for the train to go full steam ahead. I'm not saying you got to get out of bed. I'm not saying you got to go home. I'm not saying that you are off work. I ain't your manager. But what I am saying is that we're headed to our next destination. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you so much for watching in or viewing, whichever word you want to use, and riding with me to Affirmation Station. You may now exit the train and head to your next destination. There are transfer lines available to the best day ever or week, whichever one you want to vibe with. I'm going to go for week, y'all. Have the best week ever, which is on platform 2, boo-boo. If you want to have the worst day ever, go ahead and head to platform 3. Just when you're feeling it, please don't come to me. Just go to yourself and say, I'm going to turn myself around, because you can do that and turn that frown from upside down into a smile. I will see you guys tomorrow for Love My Divine Tuesday in divine timing for the live recording of Affirmation Station. I love you to infinity beyond. I hope you truly do have a fantabulous day. Ta-ta for now. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Ta-ta.